Greetings in the Geek Rumors. It's the Base Squirrel Stevie W back with part 10. We're at last on part 10 of the Infinity Watch. And today we're looking at one of my, if not my favourite MCU film. Okay, it's on a par with Captain America Winter Soldier. But Guardians of the Galaxy was one of the films that I was championing ever since I saw the first teaser trailer. It literally got me hooked on a feeling. I wanted to love this film, with Rocket Raccoon. I mean, you're talking unknown characters to the majority of people, and I've got to admit that I was not familiar with the Guardians. So to get so hyped up about a film which is essentially, to the majority of people and cinema goers are unknown, untested comic book characters that have never seen the cinematic presence before, it was either going to be hit or miss with them, sink or swim. This was the big test for the MCU. Admittedly, like I said before, going into Winter Soldier when they tore the rule book up, but this one is taking it into Star Wars territory, into space that was briefly touched upon in the original Thor film, but to actually have a film other than the pre-credits actually set in different worlds and exploring a new direction, a more comedic direction, was a brave move. But before we got to all that, we had the pre-credits setting up of Star-Lord and being abducted by Yondu after the emotional with his mother passing away, and it sets a real emotional dark tone. Then you've of course got the Marvel ident, which after that goes straight into the whole Guardians territory and what we get for the rest of the film with the Come and Get Your Love with Peter Quill, Chris Pratt doing a dance to find the mystical orb. Very Raiders of the Lost Ark, it's and the soundtrack, like I said, starting with "Come and Get Your Love" by Redbone, a song that I didn't know about before the film, and it wasn't really popular in this country. So, but I tell you, the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack is a character in itself. I mean, James Gunn picked a superb soundtrack with songs that even the ones that is now when you think of them, you think of the Guardians of the Galaxy. But I'm gonna go to my old notes. I always do. I mean, the casting, everything is superb. By Zoe Saldana from the original Pirates of the Caribbean, as was Anna Marie in there, but was more famous at that point for playing Uhura in the rebooted Star Trek films. You got Dave Bautista, the wrestler, making as Drax destroyed Drax, absolutely fantastic. He is. Never liked him much as a wrestler. Never really watched that period into wrestling at that during his tenure with the WWE. But to see him, I mean, he is superb as Drax. I mean, doesn't even. I mean, I love him even in even James Bond appearance as Mr. Kingston Spectre, and of course Sapper, who for me when his appearance in Blade Runner 2049 to me was just one of the highlights of this fantastic film. And of course you've got Doctor Who's Karen Gillan as Nebula with a shaven head, more painted blue. I mean, she was really good in that, and of course Zoe Saldana looks awesome in green paint. As Gamora, I mean, superb. Michael Rooker from Mallrats Cliffhanger, it's just superb. I mean, I love this film. It's I mean, Marvel actually taking a risk with these characters, having Vin Diesel saying, "I am Groot," essentially for the whole film, except for a variation. But if you haven't seen it, watch it, and great variation. And Bradley Cooper, brilliant voice talent as Rocket Raccoon. I mean, after watching The Hangover and, American Sniper, stuff like that, came after, when you don't think of Bradley Cooper, when you think of Rocket Raccoon, you just think of Rocket Raccoon as the character himself. He is superb, and the character for a CG character, Rocket and Groot are. You don't see them as CG. You just see them as other characters. I mean, superb animation on them, and their interaction. Everything is, I can't go on highly enough about this. I mean, you've got you've got the Collector, Benicio del Toro. I mean, Josh Brolin as Thanos, and of course Nowhere, which when you look at it is essentially the Star Wars Cantina, but it all works, and and You know, the thing is, they could actually remove Guardians of the Galaxy if it hadn't been a success. I'd never mention it again. I mean, they've set up the Infinity Stone where it is, you know, and but luckily for everyone, I mean, the Marvel fans and cinema fans got right behind this film and turned it into the Marvel's one of the more successful ones. I mean, and I got to admit, in Phase Two, which has been hit and miss. I mean, Guardians, you know, it was a well-needed shot after the darkness of Winter Soldier. I mean, these bunch of, as they call them, a-holes that rogue band that that go out and save the galaxy. I mean, the casting is superb. Lee Pace as Ronan the Accuser, of course, can't miss him out. Peter Serafinowicz as Denarian Sol and John C. Reilly. I mean, it's superb with enough nods to the 80s, you know, from when Peter Quill was abducted by Yondu. I mean, I can't go on enough about how much I love this film. It's Star Wars for a modern generation. It is, I mean, the characters are there. You love the characters. Within half an hour of the film, you are getting into these, and there's more emotional investment in these than there are in some of the other Marvel films. Now, I love the MCU. So to actually back an off-world one where I go into the characters completely unknown is superb, and it's a testament to James Gunn's writing, his directing, and of course, like I said, I mean, I can't overstate the music. The music is a character, you know, like in a load of other great films like American Graffiti and recently Baby Driver. I mean, the music aids the film, and James Gunn does it again in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I mean, I don't know anyone that doesn't, you know, most of my friends have the Volume 1 soundtrack. I mean, it's that popular. I suppose you could argue it is more like the Saturday Night Fever and Grease for the geeky sci-fi modern generation. It is, you know, no, I'm kissing this film's butt, but I love it. Start to finish, it's a fantastic film, and it's so quotable. I mean, you know, I keep going on and I'm going on and I'm repeating myself, but I love this film so much. And if you haven't seen it, and it's what you've been missing. I mean, I know people I spoke to that didn't want to watch it because the whole idea of a talking tree put them off. Even though, my God, Lord of the Rings, talking trees throughout. In the book, one of them was singing trees, if I'm right. Lord of the Rings, not a fan, but that's another story, probably for another part of the In the Greek Room site. So that'll probably be down there somewhere down the line. All I can say is Guardians of the Galaxy superb, sets the tone and shows what Marvel can do and why it's leagues ahead of every other one company that does these types of films. Up next is going to be Part 11, which is Avengers of Age of Ultron. I will see you then.